Hi, this is Chris Cummings, and I'm here with Bree Lantrip, and this is the first in a series of athlete profiles for athletes in the USATF Niagara region. Bree, could you talk a little bit about your background in track and field?
Yeah, so really, my true track and field experiences started freshman in high school. I signed up for outdoor track. I switched over from being a lacrosse player over to track and really took off from there. Triple jump was my first love, actually. That's where I first really was like, oh, okay, I think track and field would be a good option for me as a sport. And then we threw in a little bit of long jump, and then high jump took off. And then more junior, senior year, we started focusing on a little bit of hurdles and brought in some of the multis. And then my senior year indoor, I was the state champion. I believe I have 14 sectional patches. And then I had the opportunity to go to the University of Iowa to be a high jumper there, to be a track and field athlete. I focused mostly on high jump. My highest placing was 4th at the Big Ten Championships, and I was able to help bring the Iowa women's track team to their highest placing at conference ever at 3rd for both indoor and outdoor. So I was really lucky to be a part of Iowa's kind of tilt towards a really powerhouse, and I'm really happy with kind of what they're doing now and that I was able to be a part of that.
What would you say is your proudest moment in track and field?
Definitely winning states. It was a pretty good feeling. There was a lot that led up to that season. I had to petition my way into even competing. It was my indoor season that I won it, and I became friends with Senator Nozzolio because he helped me out, actually, because my Board of Education didn't want me going over to Red Jacket anymore to compete as a team of one. So I was like, wait, please. Like, this is what I want to do. And they're like, no. So I got some extra help, really pled my case, and they reluctantly let me go. And to win states at the end of it was really rewarding, and it really was able to come full circle. Like, thank you for letting me have this opportunity, and I tried to make the most of it.
Great. So, this may filter into this question. I was going to ask you, what do you think are the best lessons track can teach? There's a lot of things that we can learn as track and field athletes and involved with sport, but for you, what was probably the biggest lesson you learned?
Mm-hmm. So many. The first one that comes to mind is just the accountability that goes along with track and field. I've talked about it a lot in the past, like knowing that track and field is one of the best opportunities and one of the best vehicles to know that if you put work in, you'll get work. You'll see those results if you're putting in the right work. If you're playing a team, like, you could be the best football player in the state, but if your team isn't the best, then you can't necessarily carry your entire team on your back to go to states type deal. That if you're trying your hardest, if you're working, putting in the work, trying your best, then you will see progression. Each week that there's a meet, you're able to see if you can become a better athlete. And it's pretty easy to tell, if your times are getting better, if your marks are getting better. And so I guess that kind of goes hand in hand, is just the accountability along with the markers and self-improvement. And it's very easy to tell if you're becoming a better person, if you're becoming more healthy, if you're just getting stronger. It's really rewarding.
How would your coaches and your teammates describe you?
I am an emotional athlete, but in a good way, in the sense that I take a lot of pride in my marks and my identity as an athlete, for lack of a better term. I am very devoted to the sport of track and field. I love it. I love everything. I'll binge watch YouTube videos. It doesn't even have to be high jump, which is usually my event. I'll watch throwers. I love multis. I watch them all. I love it. So I'm very devoted to the sport, and I think that those would probably be the two. I'm very devoted, and I take sport very personally.
I certainly speak from firsthand experience in knowing you that you are one of the most passionate people I know about the sport of track and field. So it's great asking you these questions and having you be the first athlete we do in this series. So I guess the last question I'll leave with is, what kind of advice would you give to youngsters getting involved with the sport now?
I feel like everybody says this with any sport, but I really do believe that you need to have fun competing. Like, have fun going to the meets and trying your hardest. I didn't enjoy the pain of running necessarily, but if you're a distance runner, enjoy the pain. You know, one of the things that, as you know, like kind of a sentimental type, taking it personally, if we want to go back to that, is, you know, if I'm on a run and I'm going, oh, I don't want to do this, kind of keeping in your mind, like, you're pretty lucky to be able to do it. You know, there's some people who can't run. There's some people who don't have access to being a part of a team or competing. And, you know, we just went through a pandemic where there weren't meets. There's still not meets, sometimes, you know, in some locations. So just having fun and trying to take in the moment is probably my biggest too. Don't take it too seriously. That's coming from personal experience as someone who's, you know, I've cried at a few meets because I'm like, oh, I didn't jump a PR like I wanted to. That's okay. You know, like, just have fun with it, because there'll come a time where you might not be able to. So do it while you can and have fun doing it, because track and field is very fun.
That is great advice. So thank you for your time, Bree. And